which was probably like, I don't think it was such a good idea because the teachers could not bear us. They're like, you're not listening to me. I know that you like piano, but this is not how you do it. But we're
we
like,
actually,
no, let me show you.
This podcast is all about you guys and your journey in music. And we'll talk about how you got to where you are now.
Beautiful.
Cool. That sounds great.
All right. So who's older, Anna or Sophia?
Sonya is older.
Okay. By how many minutes?
Whole 10 minutes.
I mean, it's a lot. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
a lot can be done in 10 minutes.
I know. 2 songs at least, maybe 3.
You can squeeze 3 in. Yeah, depending on the such. So 10 minutes earlier. And tell me about where you guys were born and raised.
We were born in Kiev. Well, it's a little town not far from Kiev. And we moved to London about 8 years ago now.
Okay.
What
was it like growing up there?
Amazing. Love Ukraine. Born and raised in a musical family. You know, we were listening to music all the time. I would say we were forced to listen to music because our parents would play guitar, drums, and every day. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did they perform just at the house, or were they professional musicians?
They were professional musicians, but they were initially in a band. Like our mom and dad, they met playing in a band, and then from there, mom became a vocal teacher, and our dad was mathematician. He was doing something completely different to that. But our family is really, really musical. We have a sister as well. She plays cello. We're all classically trained. So it was a very musical family indeed. Yeah.
That's amazing. How old were you when you started learning an instrument? What was the instrument that you guys were?
I mean, I would say vocals is sort of like an instrument. We started singing before we could speak, and it was insane. It was crazy for our parents, even though they were like in love with music and everything, but they were like, you cannot sing so much and not talk. But I do think that it was like a twin thing. It was a twin connection, twin language. But the first instrument that we wanted to play was the piano. And then our parents were like, you have to learn how to play it if you're really gravitating so much to the piano. So they put us in the music school at the age of 5.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they didn't really let you go with it, right? A music school at 5?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Which was probably like, I don't think it was such a good idea because the teachers could not bear us. They're like, you're not listening to me. I know that you like piano, but this is not how you do it. But we're like, no, let me show you.
We didn't end up learning instruments until we were 8. So we were in music classic school at 5 trying to play, but we couldn't concentrate. So they kept just asking us to stay for another year so we would be able to concentrate. But it still was great to be among all of it. And we were singing the whole time. Honestly, it was just crazy.
Were you guys in the same class, or did they split you up as twins?
So we were in duets. Yeah. So vocal wise, we were in duet, and then we were doing our own things as well. And then piano wise, I was very separate from Sonya. I was supposed to be the whole classic piano player, and honestly, I've been practicing, I don't know, every single day, 2 hours a day, and I would come to music school and play every single day. And I was supposed to have a big future as a classic piano player. But honestly, at some point, I'm like, I cannot do this anymore. I had a mental breakdown because honestly, it was just too much for a child. And then I'm like, I'm not going to touch piano ever again. And I haven't played piano for, I think, 3 years after that. And then I initially thought, but I love piano. I need to go back and try to write something, So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So while you're playing piano, so Sophia, were you just over piano? Where were you musically at that point?
I think that I was okay at playing piano, but then when they decided to split us up, which was the idea for us to not be chatting to each other all the time, they gave me this opportunity to do something else. And I'm like, oh, piano is so cool, but now that it's taken, can I play guitar? They're like, nope. I'm like, great. Can I play flute? And they're like, sure, go ahead. And then it was such a different experience. It was all about I don't know, improvising and not really caring about rules. So Anna's was all about rules and playing 5 hours a day. Mine wasn't like that. Mine was show up, drink some tea, and maybe occasionally play. So
I love that.
Yeah,
no, that was so good.
Oh
so
man,
good.
Anna's probably so jealous of that.
I was so jealous every single time I was passing by their class. I'm like, please take me there. I don't want to go and practice for 5 hours.
Oh my!
Yeah,
why wouldn't they?
Why
wouldn't they let you play guitar?
Oh, they didn't have a teacher.
Oh, okay.
It was fully like busy. The whole one teacher who was teaching kids how to play guitar was fully booked for that year, so it wasn't possible. Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't like a cool thing that I wanted to play. I wanted to play something like Beatles, something maybe a little bit jazzy, but it was like classical guitar, so it's sort of like it didn't interest me that much. I wanted to be a rock and roll star.
You couldn't play any. Yeah, you couldn't play any rock and roll.
Yeah. No, not at all. No.
And how long were you guys at this school for?
Oh, 6-7 years.
Wow.
Was that like? Yeah, it was about 8 years. Yeah.
Was that what you're doing? Were you also doing like academic school or was the school like academic and music, or was it two separate?
Two separate ones.
Okay. And at the school for academics, were you split up there as well, or were you able to be in the same classes?
We were in the same class. Yeah.
How was that?
We were not allowed to sit together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which was a great idea. Yeah.
Oh,
that's funny.
It was good. I actually liked school a lot because it felt so much easier to be in academic school, even though it's not, than in classic music school. And when I stopped playing piano because I thought it's not going to be, like I was over with piano, I initially wanted to be math, go to university, study math. So
like your dad was a mathematician,
like my dad.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's cool.
That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. What about you, Sophia? What did you want to pursue? Was it always music?
I wanted to be nobody. That's what I wanted.
A nobody.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a good idea.
On one hand, I have my mom who taught me classical singing, and I was kind of good at it. And then everyone assumed that that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't. And then I was in the mathematical class with Anya because I also knew a little bit of mathematics, but I was like, oh, it's so depressing. It's not for me. And then, so that's why I am just so lucky to be here where I am, because otherwise I would have been a classical singer, not happy about it, or a mathematician, not happy about that either.
Not happy about that either.
Oh my God.
So when did you guys move to London?
It was 8 years ago. It was literally before we were supposed to apply to unis, and I was applying to my favorite uni in Ukraine that I wanted to go to. But then moving to London seemed like a better idea.
Okay.
Well,
so you both obviously finished school at the same time, and then instead of going to college, you decided to move to London?
London.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a sorry, go ahead.
Not all parents would understand that or support that, but our parents somehow understood it. They're like, you know what, if that's what you want to do, it sounds shady, because they never met these people before that said that you got to move to London. Because the way that happened is our oldest sister was scouted on the street by this modeling agent. That was the beginning of the story. I'm going
sounds
way
dodgy
back
already.
No, I want to go way back. So tell me how. Yeah, no, go back. Let's hear this.
All right, all the way back. Anyway, so our oldest sister, she was scouted on the street by this manager, like a modeling scouter. And then he said, oh, you got to go to the office. We'd like to take pictures of you. She's like, oh, I have twins as well, like my sister twins. Should I bring them along? And he said, sure, do.
Yeah, that doesn't sound shady at all.
I know, right? And then basically he took pictures of our oldest sister and the two of us, my twin and I, and he didn't like our oldest sister, which was really not great. And then he posted these pictures online on Facebook, and then our managers, knowing this guy, commented saying, oh, these are really cute twins. But we would always talk about how much we like music, how much we like singing, because we would sing everywhere, on the streets, at castings. We were just crazy. We were nuts, really. And this guy says, commenting back to this girl who is managing like music, etc., saying that we were also doing music. And she said, could I meet them? And so he says, this is going to be a casting for a music video, make sure to look good, etc. We're like, oh my God, we made it. You know, we always
sure.
And then, you know, showing up with a terrible hair, terrible makeup, terrible everything. And apparently it's not a casting for a music video. They want to hear us sing, like Juicy and Lenka, the mentors. Anyway, so we started singing. I brought my flute, the whole thing, the whole package. We're like, oh my God, it was so impressive, but we were not. Trust me, I've seen videos of that meeting and it was not that great. And they're like, so do you speak English? We're like, oh, sure we do. They start speaking English to us, and then we're like, oh, actually, we don't understand anything.
Oh, you didn't speak English at the time.
The word of English at all.
And so you've only learned English within the past eight years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have never known that. I would assume that you, I mean, you have a little bit of an accent, but other than that, not at all. I would have thought that you were born and raised like on English.
No.
Oh my gosh. So
that's so sweet.
That must have been a difficult, because English is, I heard, the most, you know, obnoxious language to learn. Was that, how do you learn it? I mean, that must have been difficult too. You're trying to pursue a career in music and you've got to learn English now. How did you juggle all that?
It was really difficult. Honestly, when we moved here, we thought we just made it straight away. And then we realized, well, no, you got to learn how to speak. So honestly, the first step for us was like having stickers of like on TV, on fridge, on table to know what the words are. And the first rule was to never use Russian or Ukrainian. You just speak in English the whole time through. And then that's how me and Sonya started actually learning. And then within, I think in 1 or 2 months, we had like a very elementary English, but at least we could communicate, you know, that was really good. But yeah, you know, it takes time, but you just gotta do what you gotta do it full on. And then I think it's not that difficult when you're young, I guess.
Yeah.
So then you obviously picked it up. And were you writing music when you moved to London? Was it, when you got there, was it, what happened with these photos and this manager? Like, did you end up, like, how did that become a career in music?
So it's pretty interesting, actually, because it wasn't just the breaking point, not only language-wise, there was a breaking point. There was a breaking point in everything. We thought, we're going to move to London. We're going to make it. Everyone is going to love us. Listen, we're pop divas already. Anyway, not a lot of people move from Ukraine to UK or anywhere, really. Like, so that was a big deal. And obviously, we got big-headed. Not very shortly after, we realized that we're not singing the right way. We're classically trained. We're not pop divas. People actually don't want to hear us sing. And we realized that when we got to this open mic thing, which we really like the concept of open mics, because we didn't have them in Ukraine, that you can just, show up and sing whatever. Anyway, so we're doing this, like, actually it was a blues bar thing where you're supposed to be singing a song that everyone knows, but like improvising it. And we were 16. So obviously that did not go well at all. Forgetting words, not being able to introduce ourselves,
communicate,
and not doing the right thing. And people are like, oh, this ain't blues. You're singing it so badly. And we're like, we're never doing it again. We're like, we're coming back to you right away. Yeah, anyway, and then I was thinking about it now, 8 years ago, I still feel it, it was terrible. Anyway,
well, you could go back now and say, look what we've done. And they're all probably still sitting in that bar.
Probably. I mean, if I could meet them now, I'd be like, listen, looking back, I have performed with Duran Duran, Nile Rodgers, Chic Seal. You took part of UNICEF's Imagine campaign alongside Katy Perry, William David. But thank you for telling me that I was shit, because it made me work.
Right, exactly. Anyway. So after that bar experience, when does Fahrenheit come about? Were you guys writing?
So originally we had like the whole thing. When we moved to London, there was a few labels interested in us, and then they all gave us like songs, and we have like 10 songs to sing to. So it's not really like writing them, like to sing to. And then we failed all of them. And the last song, it was so bad because like me and Sonya, we cannot just like sing somebody else's songs. For us, it's so, like it was, we couldn't. It didn't work out. Yeah, back then. And then the last one that was like there for us was Fahrenheit. And then our manager's already thinking like, oh my God, we're probably gonna give up on these girls. It's just not working out the way how we wanted to. Okay, let's just give them this last song and ask them to rewrite it, to do their own version on the song. Yeah. So that's what we did. And then our managers thought like, oh my God, we actually freaking like this song, and it's worked out quite well. And then we recorded it, and then we published it on YouTube. And and honestly, we were so surprised. We got like 200K views, and we're not signed. We didn't, promote it at all at that time. And honestly, we realized that's what we're supposed to do. We shouldn't just sing somebody else's songs and like try to write our own stuff and, progress is like true artists.
Sure. Wow. 200,000 views. That's incredible. Do you remember watching were you like watching it go up? Like, was there a moment when it really started to pick up, or was it pretty organic?
It was pretty organic, but it picked up at some point, which was crazy. And, the story that I gave you, pretty much, we were very happy when we moved to London. And then there was this light depression, and these happy girls turned into like dark pop divas, like very sad. Anyway, and this song was pretty sad, and I love that. So I want to say that it's okay to be sad and write songs about it, because it worked out,
Sure.
Yeah.
And so then you started, I mean, that probably launched you pretty quickly into a music career. What would you do next? Like, once you started getting these streaming numbers, were you writing more songs? Did you try to perform out more, or what was the next little milestone for you?
So after that, when managers saw a potential in us, they were like, you know what, you got to sit down and you got to write tracks. So every single day, we wouldn't really meet people. We wouldn't do anything social. We didn't know any bars, any clubs, nothing. We were literally waking up, learning English, writing music, going to the gym. And it was like a camp thing. You like get in shape, like music shape and English shape in like 2 months time.
Wow.
And then for us, we felt like if we're not going to do it, then we're definitely going to move back to Ukraine. And that was like, it really felt like music camp. I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then you guys get a handful of songs together. And then I saw you, Sophia, putting up the Duran Duran shirt. Was that the first tour you guys did? Oh, you got it on too. I didn't even notice it.
I was wearing the other jacket, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to take it off, but now I will. So
you're kidding.
We
wear
incredible.
the same T-shirt. We never do that. We never wear the same shit. But Duran Duran.
Totally twinning right now. That's amazing.
It's crazy.
So that was the first tour you guys got to do? Or were you doing stuff before that? Okay,
yes.
Tell me about that. That's huge. And the fact that you guys are wearing the shirt right now is incredible.
It's just crazy.
Not planned at all.
So
which year was that? 2015 or something like that? But that that was first.
It was
around
about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. So we've done few tours with Duran Duran and Nile Rodgers and Chic Seal. So the first one was around the UK, the second was around Italy, and the third one was around Japan, which was incredible. Such a good experience. I think this is Japanese, actually. Yeah, this is from Japan tour.
This T-shirt, yeah.
Do you also have the Japanese one on as well, Anna?
I think so.
No.
Yeah.
This one is from Japan. Yeah, it's.
Oh, you're both wearing the same one.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's exact same one.
Yeah, exact same one. All of it is the same. Yeah.
That's cool. What was it like? Tell me about getting asked to be on that tour. That must have been a big moment.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So the way we met Nick Rhodes from go ahead, Annie.
You can go. Like I think I talk way too much.
Anyway,
go on. Yeah.
Twins. We talk all the time at the same time.
Yeah.
Please get to it. This is okay. Anyway, so how we met Nick Rhodes, the keyboard player of Duran Duran. He likes to take photos as well. So he took photos of us for a magazine called Untitled. And it was like this musical thing, like introduction to Bloom Twins, which was really cool. But we did not expect Nick Rhodes to be a photographer. It was just so mind-blowing to see that icon can also do all of these other great things. And, anyway, so we obviously used the opportunity, and we said, we sing and we write songs. We would love to share some of them with you. And he said, sure, go ahead. And he liked one of them. He said, let's write some at my studio. And instead of writing like one or two, the way we thought it was going to turn out, it was 11 songs. I think we've done 11 or 20 or 30.
It's 20 now.
Really?
With him. Wow.
Yeah, which was so amazing. What an incredible experience.
Do you remember the song that he liked? Which one it was?
He liked every song that we wrote with him.
No, I'm talking prior. The particular one that got him interested.
Yeah.
I think She's Not Me.
That's the one.
Okay.
It's not really released anywhere because it wasn't that.
We never released that.
You never released the one that he liked?
No.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you start putting songs out with him, and then is that kind of what aligned next with your guys' career?
Yeah, we were just writing a lot of stuff together, and we would love to share some of them with you and the audience very soon, but it takes process. Like, I think these songs need to like age a little bit, like a good bottle of wine, because I don't think that everyone is ready for them yet, but we're polishing them now at this point. But what it led to, he said, I love your songs, I love you as the artist, and he wanted us to go on tour with Duran Duran, and that's how it happened.
Wow. And then since then you've played with like Eels. I read in Seal and LP.
Yeah,
a bunch
LP
of
as well. Yeah,
amazing artists. So where were you at when this whole virus kind of happened?
Honestly, it was kind of a good thing for us, even though it sounds bad, and hopefully, it would have been better if it didn't happen. But right before COVID, we'd done so much of fashion. We literally had no time for anything. And obviously music comes first, but we had like so many fashion weeks and other things to do. And it's really picked up really well last year, like 2 years ago, but we had no time. So when the COVID happened, we realized, here we go. This is like the time where we can go back to our first year in London, where we're just like camping and writing music nonstop, right? So that's what we did. We were DMing tons of people who we really like, and now they obviously had more time. So we were ending up writing tons of stuff. Yeah, some of them did. And we ended up writing tons of stuff, having tons of features coming up this year. And it's just really exciting for us, really.
That's amazing. And could you put out Winter Tales? That came out that was in 2018, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was before COVID, yeah.
Okay, and then you started putting out records in 2020. Love Me Right Now was that the first one you put out?
So after COVID, or actually during COVID, the first song that we put out was with Benny Benassi. And the way that happened, there was such an awesome moment. But just like Anya said, during lockdown, we had so much time, and we just thought, listen, we want to collaborate with other people. Obviously, you want to have something that you cannot have, and you want to do all of these things, but knowing that you're in the lockdown, you really cannot get it. But we were like, we're just going to try and reach for that dream. So we started DMing all of these people, hoping that they would reply. And then Benny Benassi replied, and he liked, some of the songs that I sent him. And his favorite one was Daydream. And he said, give me the acapella. I want to try something different underneath it. Let's see how it can work with me. And then, 2 months after, he's like, there we go. What do you think? We love it. Then he showed it to his label. He said, his Ultras label had, supported the song so beautifully. Since then, we did a video together in the Amsterdam Museum, Digital Museum. It was such a great experience. And then, dreams do come true, even though it was so difficult. At the same time, I do think that lockdown gifted us that opportunity to connect with people that didn't have time beforehand. Sure. And that's how it came about. Benny Benassi, Daydream.
Yeah.
Wow. And then 1.5 million streams later. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Already. Thank you.
Wow. So with the video, tell me about that. Was that shot during during lockdown and everything?
It was shot actually a few months back. So this year. It was all by the rules. We were waiting until the borders were open so we could do that. It was really difficult to get there, and then like half of our crew couldn't get there because Netherlands had their borders closed for Ukraine, so we had to shoot stuff with a different operator in Amsterdam, and we had to shoot with iDirector. DOP, thank you. We had to shoot with iDirector through Zoom. So he literally would be like telling us on Zoom how he wants to do that. And the DOP needs to, obviously understand what to do. And it was like so difficult, but it paid off and it looked so great. It's a new digital way of filming stuff through Zoom. Like,
sure. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I know. What a weird way to work. Have you guys done like writing over this platform, or?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of stuff. It's super strange. Yeah, I do a lot of production, and Sonya does a lot of, lyrics, melodies and stuff. For me, it's so difficult because like my way of working is quite in my own world, doing the production, creating something. So when I'm in the room, I still hear what's going on, and I can like kind of get inspired by people and people's energy. For me, it's so weird in Zoom because everyone's just trying to do something and say something, so it doesn't feel like we're wasting everyone's time. And it just doesn't feel that amazing, but it's still great that we were able to do that, so I can't complain. But I choose studios face to face, it's my preference.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the most recent song you guys put out was High on Beat. I love the video. Well, tell me about that song.
So this song was originally written with Guy Gerber. So also such a king of electronic music. Anya is such a big fan of Guy Gerber and Jan Blomqvist. But he, like, I don't know, like, we wrote it and then it never got anywhere. So then we thought, oh, this is such a good song. What should we do with it? And Anya decided to DM Jan Blomqvist and be like, check this song out. What do you think? And he liked it. And then he did his own thing at it. Pretty much very similar to what happened with Daydream song that Benny Benassi did. Pretty much the same concept. And then it worked out so nicely. And then we recorded the music video during the lockdown as well in manager's gym. Yeah, can you believe that new video is all the location is our manager's gym, and I would never ever thought that the gym could look like
gym.
Can you believe that?
That's a gym.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That I would have never guessed that in a million years that that's a gym.
Oh, thank you. I love it.
It looks so good.
It looks really good. That must have taken a lot of time to set that up to make it look the way it does.
Actually, not
Those
really. They just moved bikes around, stuff like that.
Really?
Pretty much all of these laser things. Yeah.
It's perfect. The lasers look rad.
Yeah, thank you.
You can see there is like a boxing area where the guys like punch in. There's lasers and stuff. That's an actual boxing room.
Oh, really?
So it's so cool. Good, yeah, you can see all of that. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it. No, in the mindset that this is a gym.
Yeah.
You have to. Yes.
That's so cool. So, are you guys? I mean, you've been working on a bunch of music over the course of the last year and a half during this lockdown. Do you have an EP or a record coming out?
Right now, we're actually concentrating on a lot of features.
Okay.
So it's a lot of different people, and we're so excited about that because honestly, for us, like our whole style, which is like dark pop, it's basically us mixing different genres, something that people wouldn't mix. So we're not afraid to go and try something else and then see where it's gonna lead. And honestly, creatively is the most mind-blowing experience, and I feel like this year is the best for us. We have like Benny Benassi and Blomqvist, and every 2 months, every 3 months, we're having different features coming out, and that's just really cool.
Wow, that's really exciting. What about live shows? I mean, you probably haven't played live in a bit of time.
A really long time.
Craving it. But hopefully we will soon be able to perform live. But I don't think so. Not quite yet. Not in the UK, at least.
Are you guys pretty locked down still?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, there are
places
things that
are
open. Yeah, but you're not going to be able to perform anywhere. So it's you cannot perform. Yeah, the things are open, bars are open, but you cannot do any performances here. So.
Oh wow, yeah, because everything just. I mean, I think yesterday is when like New York and LA kind of lifted everying, so people are touring soon. That's why I was curious. Good. You need to come out here and you can play.
We have to.
We should.
Well, I can't wait to hear all the new features you have coming out. I love the video and of course the song for High on Beat and everything else that you guys have done. And I really appreciate you chatting with me today. This has been great.
Same here. Thank you.
Thanks.
I do have one more question for you both before I let you go.
All right.
If that's cool. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Ooh. Oh God, this is pretty difficult. I do. I feel like, hard work. You have to work hard. You have to know what you want. You have to know why you want it. You have to have a dream, but then you have to find that dream. And that dream shouldn't be anybody else's. It shouldn't be your parents' dreams, It shouldn't be your friends' dreams. And it's a very difficult process because if you don't like it, this industry in particular will break you down. And it's the truth. I mean, I'm being overly dramatic maybe, but it's the truth. People are going to tell you, you have to look this way, you have to sing these songs, you have to do that and that and that and that, and by the way, Instagram, by the way, algorithm. So make sure that you love what you're doing and everything will be easy.
I love that.
I'm not sure how easy it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be an enjoyable process. I feel like artists needs to remember why they started that, you know, with all this hectic, you know, before the COVID and stuff, with all this hectic lifestyle, you kind of forget why you do that, and you forget what was this thing within you where you, what moved you, and you started to want to create something. And I feel like you need to be unapologetic about the way, what you write and how you write, and you shouldn't. You should compromise, but at the same time, you shouldn't compromise your creativity. So try to explore everything you can. Try not to stay in one zone where you feel like it's comfortable. It shouldn't be comfortable. It should be super freaking scary. And you should try to do something super special. And the only way to do it is when you do something, you know, it's not comfortable to do. Something new and something fun, you know?
I love that. Thank you both so much. Oh, you do? No, go ahead.
Oh
I've got all day.
We actually don't. There's a difference in time anyway. But here's the thing. I think that songwriting subject is such an interesting one to cover, because you do, like Anya said something very, very cool, but you know, she said that you have to write something from your heart, right? It has to be real. Otherwise it will all come, you know, otherwise it will be all very much prepared. Artificial. But at the same time, there should be such a good balance about not writing songs about yourself, but writing songs for others, you know, because then when you walk into the room with other people that are writing with you and for you, it will not be all about yourself. It will be about that energy in the room, and you'll be connecting with other people, and you will also be able to learn something new about yourself. So I feel like you should be honest, it should be straight from your heart, but the songs shouldn't be just about you. You want people to like it.